In the sky, countless strands of silver light slowly descended. Silver thunderclouds continuously emitted faint arcs of lightning, which, despite seeming weak, contained terrifying power capable of shaking the very heavens and earth. These arcs, newly born, bathed directly in the heavenly light pillar and charged toward the essence of the wooden puppet demonic spirit, attempting to purify its core power and hinder its ascension. Before long, the disturbance grew more intense, attracting the attention of nearly every strong individual. This stirred up a massive uproar throughout the entire Pill Valley mountain range. After all, a spiritual ascension of this magnitude would naturally attract the attention of countless powerful beings and competitors. This thundercloud is rather strange. It doesn't seem like pill thunder. It contains an irresistible pressure from the heavens. This level of heavenly light pillar? Wait, could it be? Outside the altar mountain, countless powerful beings, though unable to see Xiao figure, noticed the movements from other crystal prisms. As they saw the sky swirling with wind and clouds, a towering light pillar appearing, and the mountains echoing with the roars of countless beasts, some of them, envious, immediately realized something and couldn't help but speak up. This scene, could it be a spiritual ascension? In an instant, Xiao, with her beautiful eyes flashing, seemed to recognize that the situation before her matched descriptions from ancient texts. She immediately declared, "I'm certain this is it. I never expected to witness a spiritual ascension here. This grand ceremony is certainly getting more interesting," said Lei Qianjin, an elder of the Lei clan, with a curious expression. Even for strong beings like them, it seemed this was a rare sight. This guy seems a bit like the wooden puppet demonic spirit I encountered 1,000 years ago. But didn't that one still have 1,000 years before reaching the ascension stage? This is truly strange, Yao Wanyuan said, growing suspicious. To ensure the success of this grand ceremony, the Pill Valley had meticulously arranged everything, from the quantity and placement of medicinal herbs to the guardian magical beasts. It was impossible for a beast to ascend during this period. Was this human intervention, or had something slipped through their grasp? What exactly was going on? At this moment, within the towering mountains of Pill Valley, countless magical beasts let out angry roars. Their fiery gazes emerged from the shadows, exuding an invisible longing. The energy required for a spiritual beast's ascension was immense, and once it ascended to the monster realm, it would gain a massive advantage. Xiao stood guard beside the heavenly light pillar, watching as the core light mass slowly ascended. He felt somewhat at ease, but his vast soul power detected some sinister figures lurking in the dark, eyeing the situation. He couldn't afford to relax and remain vigilant. Boom! In the blink of an eye, two brilliant beams of light, like lightning, flashed from deep within the mountains. The light masses contained overwhelming murderous intent and were accompanied by a force capable of breaking mountains and seas, instantly piercing through Xiao defenses and heading toward the ascending heavenly light pillar. The silver thunderclouds and the heavenly light pillar marked the final and most crucial step of the ascension. If disrupted, everything could be ruined. Not good. At this moment, the wooden puppet demonic spirit, now at the center of the light pillar, suddenly changed its expression as if facing a formidable enemy. Sigh, this is troublesome. But since we're fated, I might as well help you all the way through. Although humanity's endless exploration of nature has led to many mistakes and the indiscriminate slaughter of innocent lives, and though many wrongs have been committed, the law of the jungle prevails in this world. There's nothing we can do. Once you reach the monster realm, enjoy yourself, Xiao said softly, smiling. He then took a step forward, his brilliant sacred flame forming a stunningly beautiful blaze that illuminated much of the sky. An even more dazzling and surging power was slowly taking form. With Xiao sharp senses, he detected several powerful forces quickly approaching. These forces clearly did not belong to the competitors, but were more like the formidable magical beasts residing in the mountains. The two light masses that had just broken through his defenses carried even more immense power, which was why they had taken action. During a spiritual ascension, the ascendant, undergoing the tribulation, would be completely vulnerable, as though they were nothing more than a puppet, regardless of how strong they were in life. Thus, this was the wooden puppet demonic spirit's most vulnerable moment. Wooden puppet demonic spirit, we've been acquainted for 1,000 years. Yes, we are both magical beasts from the Pill Valley mountain range, so naturally, we should share both good fortune and face hardships together. The two glowing orbs flickered with a chilling, ominous energy. One was dark red, the other earth yellow, and they appeared directly beside the wooden puppet demonic spirit, conversing with each other. Their words carried an overwhelming killing intent, barely contained in their voices. Nonsense! You two shameless bastards! Hearing the voices from the two orbs, the wooden puppet demonic spirit couldn't hold back a roar. The roar echoed from the heavens, crashing to the ground, shaking the entire mountain range with its fury. Make your move. If we delay, something might go wrong. Since you refuse to listen, this time, let us use your essence to serve us. To ascend to the monster realm? What an unrealistic fantasy. As the words fell, the two orbs disappeared, revealing their true forms. Powerful figures from the monster realm, Earth Rock Bear and the three-tailed demon fox. Looking up, one saw the Earth Rock Bear resembling a middle-aged man, with piercing eyes staring at the wooden puppet demonic spirit. Its entire body was covered in a thick, rocky armor, emanating an extremely terrifying force. Next to it, the three-tailed demon fox resembled a cunning human man, but behind him were three extraordinarily strange tails, each flicking with mysterious power. Upon further inspection, it became clear that both had the power of a mid-8-star Do Xian. Together, their strength was enough to challenge ordinary 8-star Do Xian late-stage cultivators. Attack! The two of them exchanged a cold glance, their eyes full of greed. In an instant, they erupted with overwhelming energy, their arms raising and turning into a brilliant energy beam, shooting toward the target. Wham! Two attacks, each containing the destructive power to shatter mountains and crack the earth, flew toward the Ascension pillar, aiming to destroy it and steal the essence of the wooden puppet demonic spirit. Destroying the spiritual Ascension is no small matter. Let me show you how it's done. Just as the words fell, Xiao raised his hand and made a heavy sweep. The two attacks were instantly evaporated by an overwhelming burst of high temperature, while his body roared like an erupting volcano. A scorching flame wrapped his entire form, sweeping across the sky, turning the surrounding area into a molten world. This is the flame of sacred flame? At that moment, both the two magical beasts and the many powerful beings watching from the altar mountain were stunned. They felt a massive shockwave stir within their hearts. Sacred flame? Countless experts in the altar mountain trembled as they stood, staring at Xiao. The amber-colored flames surrounding him caused their eyelids to twitch violently. Their bodies became parched, and it seemed like this scene had transcended their comprehension. Could Xiao be some kind of prodigy? Moreover, the entire sky within a 1,000-meter radius of the mountain range twisted as a blazing heat wave enveloped everyone. The fluctuations of that level were so terrifying that even some 8-star Do Xian experts felt a chilling sense of oppression. What a shocking talent! At that moment, Yao Wanyuan shook his head slightly, clearly realizing that this Yao clan grand ceremony might have merely been a chance for others, though in his eyes, the unparalleled alchemy path surpassed everything else, even his own clan. This Xiao. At that moment, even Yao Yichen, who had always been proud and aloof, saw Xiao as a true enemy. A scheme to target Xiao was being secretly formulated by Shenhong and others. However, they didn't stay long and focused on gathering medicinal materials instead. After all, the sacred flame power from the core of the spiritual ascension was something few could resist. Even if they dared to act rashly, they would likely only end up losing their lives. At the place of ascension deep within the mountains, the vast earth was covered with a layer of silvery mist, which contained such a tremendous pressure that weaker magical beasts knelt down. A human with a perfect 7-star Do Xian level actually possesses the sacred flame? This is truly unexpected. Why don't you join us? We can guarantee you. The three-tailed demon fox, after observing Xiao display, was initially shocked, but soon regained composure and sneered. "I've got this covered." With Xiao Yan's cold laugh, countless fiery beams descended from the sky, all rushing toward Xiao Yan's palm. Before long, Xiao Yan's hand became solidified, and a dangerous amber-colored fire fox, like an ethereal spirit, leapt and danced. But this spirit-like flame spread across Xiao Yan's body, as if something within him was slowly growing and sprouting. "Kill!" Seeing Xiao Yan's movement, the two magical beasts exchanged a glance. Sensing an intense heat, endless malice surged within their bodies. Boom, boom, boom. The terrifying lightning storm unleashed endless fury, and the entire sky became unnaturally cold, with a chilling aura of death spreading across the land. Human. Watching Xiao Yan recklessly assist him, the wooden puppet demonic spirit, now transformed into a pure light sphere, firmly etched this figure into his memory. However, he still had a bit more time before his ascension was complete. For now, all his hopes were placed on Xiao Yan. Sacred flame. Looking at the lightning storm imbued with destructive power, Xiao Yan remained silent. The fire spirit above his hand flickered and suddenly exploded, turning the sky into a sea of scorching amber flames, transforming the area into a true firestorm. Sacred flame fire sea, burn for me. As the lightning storm raged, the flame in Xiao Yan's palm finally erupted completely. Waves of sacred and blazing sacred flame engulfed the entire void, causing a subtle distortion to sweep outward. The brilliant amber flames concealed a trace of destruction, a power that surpassed the very heavens and earth. Even the two magical beasts, despite their great strength, were caught off guard, their resistance ineffective, and they were left in disarray. What now? At this moment, the stone armor on the Earth Demon Bear's shoulder began to glow with heat, showing signs of cracking. He roared, with the immense force of the flames pushing him to act. "We can only use the trump card now. If we let this guy delay long enough, the wooden puppet demonic spirit will ascend successfully, and all our efforts to seize the source will be for nothing." The three-tailed demon fox observed, its tail swaying slowly behind it, each movement releasing an overwhelming force. "If my strength could break through to the 8-star level with the boost of the sacred flame, I would be close to invincible at this level, plus the new source technique after the fusion of the sacred flame. My power now is incomparable to before." Xiao Yan gazed around at the Fire Sea mini-world with satisfaction, nodding slightly, as though the power of the sacred flame grew stronger with his own strength. At the place of Ascension, a Fire Sea world stretching nearly 1,000 meters burned fiercely, scorching both the void and all the creatures within. It was faintly visible that the two massive magical beasts had transitioned from their human-like forms back into their true demonic beast bodies. The Earth Demon Bear, with its brown fur, resisted the invasion of the sacred flame, its massive body as unyielding as a mountain. Its eyes flickered with a trace of madness, and its fur seemed to respond to the earth, releasing a surging power. Boom, boom, boom. The three-tailed demon fox had also reverted to its demonic fox form. Its three eerie tails swayed back and forth, each movement unleashing an unimaginable terrifying power. Earth Fist. Demon Fox Hard Eyes. Without further words, the two roared in unison, their voices filled with menace as a rock fist and a phantom of the demon fox's soul shot towards Xiao Yan. As the two unleashed their power, the temperature in the Fire Sea plummeted. Cracks began to form, giving off a faint sense of dread. Human, this ends now. Watching the scene, the three-tailed demon fox's expression turned grim, its cold smile laced with murderous intent. With their strongest attacks, they planned to send Xiao Yan on his way, and then collect the source of the wooden puppet demonic spirit. Let's see how you handle the new power I've gained from the fusion of multiple sacred flames. Sacred flame armor. Xiao Yan's voice was calm, but as the words left his lips, the flames in the Fire Sea rapidly detached and gathered around his body. Every strand of flame spread evenly across his skin and limbs, quickly transforming into a brilliant, radiant armor, making him appear as though a divine palace walking on earth, magnificent and glorious. Come. Sensing the power of the sacred flame armor after the fusion of multiple sacred flames, Xiao smiled faintly and took a step forward, raising his fist to strike with an air of defiance. Whoosh! Bathed in the amber-colored soul armor, Xiao exuded an almost sacred aura as he threw a punch, instantly shattering the combined attack of the two beasts. What the hell? At that moment, the two cursed under their breath, quickly retreating in fear. Xiao punch contained endless killing intent and a terrifying power they couldn't comprehend. If they stayed, they might meet their end. After cultivating for 1,000 years, the magical beasts had finally gained human forms. They didn't want to sacrifice themselves for the wooden puppet demonic spirit source. What a pity. Otherwise, the new sacred flame source technique, sacred flame soul armor, would have allowed me to test my limits. Xiao watched as the two fled, but did not pursue them. Instead, he closed his eyes to meditate in the void, focusing on understanding the power of the new sacred flame source technique, while also keeping an eye on the wooden puppet demonic spirit's ascension. This Xiao is truly a freak, causing such a ruckus. No wonder even the clan's ancestors praised the Xiao clan. But why did such a powerful clan mysteriously disappear? Forget it. But Xiao actions have certainly drawn countless eyes. Everyone will focus on him now. To contend for the top spot, they must eliminate him first. But by doing this, he makes himself the enemy of many. Go deeper to gather information, then meet up with Xun'er. Ling Zishi also noticed the commotion created by Xiao. She curled her lips and said, but there were no extra emotions behind her words. She was doing this merely to help Xiao, as a way to repay the Xiao clan for their previous assistance. Boom. Thank you, human. With the loss of the two leading magical beasts' attacks, the remaining beasts were envious, but under Xiao protection, they dared not act rashly. At the same time, the body of the wooden puppet demonic spirit turned into a streak of light, its speed surging. A harsh roar echoed as it leaped to the top of the silver cloud, following the pillar of light deep into the silver cloud. It's no trouble. Xiao waved his hand toward the pure light sphere, causing a silver thundercloud to tear open, easily absorbing the essence of the wooden puppet demonic spirit, and an ancient aura of natural energy swept through the area. In an instant, the wooden puppet demonic spirit successfully ascended, leaving behind only a core-like body essence on the ground. Its body contained the fundamental wood-type energy, but after ascension, the body couldn't enter the monster realm. Therefore, the body and essence were separated, with the body left behind because it was cultivated with the support of its origin. Let's head to its base. Otherwise, the disturbance here might attract some contestants. After confirming the success of the wooden puppet demonic spirit's ascension, Xiao gently stored the map and essence, following the directions to the spirit's base. This was done to absorb its origin and fully master both attributes, while also exploring new sacred flame origin techniques. About an hour later, in a delicate cave, Xiao sat upright, gazing at the precious herbs scattered all over the cave. He couldn't help but feel passionate. This level of treasure land was surprisingly being enjoyed alone by the wooden puppet demonic spirit. It was a spirit of heaven and earth, rooted in wood, absorbing endless natural essence, and ultimately succeeded in ascending to the monster realm. Damn it, I'm still missing the last herb. After rummaging through the place, Xiao shook his head in frustration. Even though the herbs here were extremely rich, he had yet to collect them all. Forget it. I'll absorb the wooden puppet demonic spirit's essence first. I'll search for the herbs later after stabilizing the two attributes. Next, let's check out the new Sacred Flame origin technique. Sacred Flame Armor. Xiao had set up dozens of barriers in the cave, both inside and out. As a result, with a roar, immense power surged outward. The new Sacred Flame origin technique merged the powers born from several sacred flames. Xiao could still use the original techniques of each sacred flame, but the newly fused Sacred Flame origin technique was undoubtedly far stronger. Boom! As the roar faded, Xiao felt a burning sensation on his skin. Soon, beautiful amber-colored armor appeared, covered in intricate fire patterns, fully protecting and enveloping his body. The immense power and heat made it feel like a real treasure. What a terrifying new sacred flame origin technique. Feeling the extremely hot and intense energy from the sacred flame armor, Xiao smiled with satisfaction. With this, his power had clearly risen to a new level in both offense and defense. Moreover, Xiao had an intuition that, with the enhancement from Dragon God Transformation and Sacred Flame Armor, his power could already rival that of some ordinary 8-star Do Xian experts. With the addition of his fused battle soul and other techniques, let's begin. After sensing the thick armor on his skin once more, Xiao stored it away. In his hand, he held the essence left by the wooden puppet demonic spirit after its ascension. He murmured, his voice filled with a fiery sense. Fire and wood attributes indeed had a subtle connection. If he could successfully control both, Xiao power would make a qualitative leap. After all, powerful beings like Gu Abyss, who controlled 2 attributes, had already reached the profound connection realm. Buzzing! With a wave of his hand, a soft green light burst forth. It had no intelligence, appearing like a pool of green liquid, quietly lying before Xiao. However, the intense energy within it made Xiao feel extremely fiery. Instantly, the wood attribute Do core inside Xiao Do Qi Si, which had been calm for a long time, seemed to sense this heavenly treasure. It trembled violently, and a wave of extreme greed surged forth. As for attributes, normally, a person could only possess one attribute throughout their life. Attributes permeated through the body like blood, and to master a second attribute, the cost and perseverance required were beyond ordinary understanding. Stay calm. Just as Xiao was filled with joy, the fire attribute Do core beside him erupted with an extremely sharp aura, attempting to devour it. After all, 2 tigers cannot share the same mountain. Whoosh! Whoosh! A dazzling surge of soul power burst forth, instantly suppressing the fire attribute Do core. In the next moment, a gentle green orb of light was effortlessly absorbed into Xiao body, as if he were drinking a refreshing elixir. The moment the energy entered his body, a vibrant surge of life force coursed through him, spreading in all directions. Clearly, the wooden puppet demonic spirit's source power was overflowing with wood attribute essence, an attribute synonymous with vitality, which explained this extraordinary phenomenon. Seated cross-legged, Xiao entire body radiated an eerie green glow, exuding an aura of nature's child. A boundless vitality swept outward, even accelerating the growth of medicinal herbs scattered around the cave. Crack, crack. This anomaly didn't last long. Once Xiao had fully channeled the wood attribute energy throughout his limbs and bones, he directed all of its source power toward the wood attribute Do core in his Do Qi Si. At that moment, within the near-empty Do Qi Si, the sound of shattering crystals echoed continuously. Naturally, this was accompanied by Xiao blood-curdling screams. The agonizing process of reawakening and mastering the wood attribute was no less excruciating than having his soul bound and pierced by razor-sharp, icy silver needles. The searing pain made his scalp tingle. Yet, no matter how harrowing the experience, Xiao clenched his teeth and endured. Gradually, the wood attribute Do core within him began to grow stronger, brimming with vitality that circulated through his bloodstream. Eventually, the fire and wood attributes stood as equals within his Do Qi Si, locked in an intense standoff like 2 evenly matched adversaries. 3 days passed quietly. During this time, Xiao remained in the cave, silently enduring the inhuman pain. Fortunately, perseverance paid off. By the 3rd day, the wooden puppet demonic spirit's source energy had fully integrated into his body, leaving an imprint on his soul and merging with his flesh and blood. With this, Xiao finally gained complete mastery over the wood attribute. Now, with both fire and wood attributes at his command, he wielded them effortlessly, standing unrivaled among those of the same level. Rip! Xiao eyes snapped open, and a surge of boundless vitality radiated from his gaze. With a casual wave of his hand, the vines within the cave responded to his will, bending and moving as if alive. Astonishingly, his mastery of the wood attribute even granted him a faint connection with these plants. With their presence, Xiao no longer needed to rely on soul power to probe his surroundings. Every blade of grass and vine in the cave revealed its presence in his mind. Rustle, rustle. The plants in the cave let out a faint, melodious sound, as if celebrating Xiaoyan's breakthrough. Would attributes can rely on forests and vegetation to enhance perception? Xiaoyan muttered, his expression thoughtful. This is comparable to the sensory abilities of soul power, perhaps even surpassing it in places where soul power is hindered. I wonder if the fire attribute can achieve something similar through flames. Feeling the harmonious coexistence of fire and wood within him, Xiaoyan couldn't help but smile in satisfaction. Since ancient times, alchemists have relied on the brilliance of fire and the faint traces of wood attributes within them. Yet, those capable of fully awakening and mastering both elements were exceedingly rare. Let's go. The last medicinal ingredient is at the spirit sea beneath the mountain. With these words, Xiaoyan rose and, following the guidance of his map, surged toward the mountain range's core with explosive speed. However, Xiaoyan wasn't the only one. Thousands of alchemists, each working to gather ingredients based on their respective prescriptions, had also reached the final step of their task. Whether by coincidence or design by the Yao clan's experts, many found themselves converging on the same location. This final site, without a doubt, would serve as the last trial before refining their pills, and a battleground for fierce competition. At this moment, within the Spirit Valley mountain range, countless figures flickered through the dense forest. Despite casualties along the way, many had gained their own rewards. Hey, have you heard the latest? Within a mountain ravine, 3 alchemists of the 6th grade immortal class had gathered. One of them, a pale-faced man with a loud voice, spoke up eagerly. Heard what? The other 2 turned their attention toward him. Clearly, they had formed a temporary alliance, as not everyone could match the raw strength of Xiaoyan or the prodigies of the ancient clans. It's said that the Yao clan siblings, together with the Yin clan, CS sect, and other powerhouses, have laid a trap for Xiaoyan, intending to bring him to justice. The pale-faced man continued, his voice tinged with excitement. The prospect of a battle between Xiaoyan and the ancient clans was bound to be explosive. In the Spirit Valley, most of the powerful individuals had joined their alliance, for they understood that the strength Xiaoyan had repeatedly demonstrated was too terrifying. Even the geniuses of the ancient races could feel an immense pressure. If Xiaoyan was not eliminated first, they would likely never have a chance at competing for the title of the strongest in the continent, the man said. But what does this have to do with the spirit sea at the base of the mountain we are heading to? One of the onlookers asked, confused. According to the rumors, it seems that every alchemist's recipe is missing the final ingredient. The last ingredient is said to be found in the spirit sea at the base of the mountain. I believe this is the trial set by the Yao clan, the man continued. The woman from the Ling clan has a mysterious relationship with Xiaoyan. When she sensed their plot, she rashly tried to crush their alliance's conspiracy. However, she was outnumbered and was wounded by the combined attack of several powerful experts. She is now fleeing everywhere, he added. Even someone as beautiful and ethereal as that fairy could be harmed. But those people still haven't killed the Ling clan's fairy. It seems they are driving her away, as if they are waiting for something. The murmurs spread as the 3 silently retreated, heading toward the base of the mountain, where a passage connecting to the mountain's depths led to the spirit sea. These guys are really giving me a headache. Xiaoyan didn't intentionally eavesdrop, but after fully mastering the wood element, the trees within a kilometer radius would unconsciously transmit such information to him. Hence, the conversation between the 3 of them flowed into Xiaoyan's mind without missing a word. Forget it, I can't just stand by and watch. The geniuses of the ancient races, huh? Let me see what makes them so proud. Xiaoyan shook his head and muttered. He then moved swiftly, heading straight for the spirit sea at the base of the mountain. Though he possessed a powerful soul, he didn't dare to guarantee victory in alchemy contests against these gifted individuals. However, when it came to combat, any of the ancient race's members wouldn't be his match in a one-on-one fight. Of course, excluding group attacks. But Xiaoyan was eager to test the combined power of his firewood dual attributes, Battle Soul, and Dragon God transformation. How strong would they really be? Meanwhile, on the other side, a small force composed of several powerful individuals, born from a gathering of top-tier experts, had already been waiting for Xiao Yin to walk right into their trap. Do you think Xiao Yin will come? At that moment, hidden beneath the towering mountains by a surging river, dozens of powerful individuals at the 7-star Do Xian level stood solemnly, guarding the turbulent river below as though they were waiting for something. Ling Zixi and Xiao Yin must have some extraordinary connection. That's why he will come, Shenhong, leading the group, said with a smile at Yin Xian. As for the other powerful experts, such as the Yao clan siblings and Hun Mu, he adopted an indifferent attitude, which struck them as rather strange. Guard this place well. Once you spot Xiao Yin, immediately strike and kill him here, Shenhong ordered. Hun Mu, Yao Yichan, I know you disapprove of my current actions, but listen up, Yin Xian tells you all. If you stand by and do nothing when Xiao Yin appears, there will be no point in the upcoming pill contest if we fail. Victory will belong to only one side. We're all in the same boat now, so don't do anything that will make everyone despise us, Yin Xian arrogantly declared, making the stakes clear. We will act if needed. Upon hearing this, Yao Yichan and the others could only silently shake their heads. The current situation was beyond their control. Xiao Yan's soul power was too overwhelming, and once he collected the herbs, even they would have to admit defeat. However, they mistakenly believed Xiao Yan's formidable soul power was just that of a powerful alchemist. If they had known better, they would never have made the foolish decision to ambush Xiao Yin together with the other participants. In the Spirit Valley, atop the towering mountain range, there was a passage directly leading to the underground, where the so-called Spirit Sea resided. The Spirit Sea was quite bizarre in shape. It resembled typical mountains and rivers, but the power within it surged violently. What was even more astonishing was that the deeper one went into the Spirit Sea, the more one would find groups of herbs wrapped in special energy, quietly lying deep within the sea, waiting to be collected. These herbs were the last missing ingredient for the 1,000 participants' recipes. This is the so-called Spirit Sea, huh? The Yao clan's far-reaching plans really are impressive, Xiao Yin muttered as he arrived a few hours later. Clearly, he had not encountered any resistance from other powerful experts along the way. Looking up, Xiao Yin stood at an open area made of rocks. Before his eyes, a vast and vibrant sea stretched out, nearly 1,000 zhang in size. The surface of the sea shimmered with light, and several participants could be seen floating within the Spirit Sea. Additionally, dark shadows seemed to notice Xiao Yan's presence. Without hesitation, they lightly tapped their toes in the air, and then shot straight down towards the Spirit Sea below. They clearly wanted to avoid any entanglement with someone as extraordinary as Xiao Yin. Once I collect the final medicinal ingredient, the refining of the pill will be in its final step. A Saint Class 8th grade pill. I wonder if I can succeed in refining it, Xiao Yin thought, staring at the surging Spirit Sea before him. A trace of fiery passion appeared in his eyes. The 8th grade Saint Class pill was a formidable challenge for him, but the potential reward made it worth the attempt. If successful, his breakthrough into the Saint Class would be just around the corner. Wong wong wong. As Xiao Yan's voice fell, the Spirit Sea below suddenly began to writhe. Bright light clusters formed from soul power began to flicker from the depths of the sea. It seems that this final step won't be as simple as I thought, Xiao Yin smiled calmly, his heart becoming slightly wary. His gaze swept over the powerful figures emerging from the depths of the Spirit Sea. Apart from a few members of the ancient tribes, it appeared that the majority of people had gathered here. Bloodstains and a murderous aura surrounded their bodies, clearly fresh from battle, their voices filled with panic, as if they had been hunted by some creature. Hee, brother Xiao Yin, you really are timely. Around 100 figures landed lightly on the rocks near Xiao Yin, smiling at him. However, even their smiles couldn't hide the panic and unease in their hearts. If you have something to say, just speak. Xiao Yan's eyes grew cold. He then glanced around, not intending to trust these people. The strange aura around them made Xiao Yin feel that something was off. Brother Xiao Yin, the Spirit Sea below is the final stage of collecting medicinal ingredients, but there's a terrifying magical beast blocking our way. We have tried joining forces, but we are no match for it, One of the figures couldn't help but flatter Xiao, clearly implying that he wanted Xiao to take action. What about the geniuses of the ancient tribes? Xiao casually glanced around, observing the vast spirit sea, and immediately understood that the danger these people spoke of was real. There was indeed a terrifying force stirring below. However, since it was none of his business, Xiao didn't want to do any unnecessary labor. Brother Xiao, we won't hide it from you. Xun'er and Yin used their combined strength to manipulate us as shields. They pressured Ling Zishi to force you to appear, but after uniting with the ancient tribes and us, they cunningly enraged the guardian magical beast in advance. Using the alliance's power to fight the beast, they proceeded to collect the medicinal ingredients, while the geniuses of the ancient tribes are battling the beast. They are likely facing a life-and-death crisis. Some of the strong figures looked at each other, speaking with self-reproach. Clearly, they had underestimated Xun'er and Yin's ambitions. A terrifying magical beast, Xiao murmured. He hadn't expected that Yin and Xun'er would play such a trick. This was unavoidable. Yin and Xun'er were the leaders of these people, but due to the indifferent attitudes of Hun Mu and Yao Yichen, they had no choice but to take such a risk. Otherwise, if these people changed their minds, the ones who would suffer would be them. The strength of this magical beast is likely on par with a true 8-star Doxian at the peak stage among humans. Furthermore, it resides deep within the spirit sea, guarding the medicinal ingredients we need. With its power and intelligence, it is as formidable as a human. Even the geniuses of the ancient tribes were forced to retreat. If they hadn't intervened just now, all of us here would have been killed by that beast. One of the strong figures said again, filled with lingering fear. The injuries on their bodies were inflicted by the beast from the depths of the sea. If it hadn't been for Hun Mu and others intervening, their strength would have been no match for the beast. Ling Zishi is also down there? Xiao asked again.
Yes.
They quickly responded upon hearing Xiao question. Splash. Without hesitation, Xiao released his soul power, enveloping his body to prevent the water from affecting him. He then leaped directly into the sea. Shoo! As soon as he entered the spirit sea, a coldness that reached into his bones, even his soul, swept over him, causing Xiao to involuntarily shiver. Everyone could clearly feel that the energies of the world and the spirit sea were now boiling and churning. The entire spirit sea trembled violently, and waves as large as 100 meters continuously surged, with waves of vicious and murderous aura sweeping out from the depths of the sea. Ah! One after another, figures were tossed around like ants by the waves. Their screams were heart-wrenching, their bodies already covered in wounds. They were lifted hundreds of meters high by the waves, only to fall again with a sound of bones snapping, a chilling and horrific noise. Is it coming out? Are we going to die here? Master Xiao, please save us. Watching this shocking scene, the injured participants were completely demoralized, their voices trembling with fear as they pleaded. At this moment, they had no choice but to turn to Xiao for help. Bang! 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 Just as everyone was in a state of panic, a deep abyssal whirlpool suddenly appeared in the spirit sea, and one by one, figures were casually tossed out like garbage, including the proud sons and daughters of ancient races.